Hello everyone, my name is Tyra Bruni and I will be your host for this evening. I just want to start off by saying thank you for everyone for joining us. Each year we hold this memorial to honor the donors that graciously donated to our education because they were more than bodies. These were people that just like us, they went to work and they went to school. They every day had happiness and joy and even sorrow, and these were people that loved. And so each year we hold this event to celebrate our first patients, not only for their final act of kindness, but to celebrate the lives that we can only imagine that they lived. So to start our ceremony, I would like to introduce Jacqueline Depore, reading aloud her poem entitled A Story Untold.
End of life, yet you live on, in our minds, our thoughts, and beyond. First experience, never forgotten. The first cut, focus. How deep do we go? We break through the surface. It once housed a soul, a heart that loved countless times, a story untold. An unknown life, yet we try to fabricate it, with their scars, tattoos, their marks, and changes. Each body is unique, each of our experiences mystique. But they don't end there. We will carry your memory with us everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. That was beautiful. I'd now like to introduce our guest speaker for this evening. He taught us what it meant to donate one's body, taught us how to learn from the precious gift we were given, and most importantly, he introduced us to our first patient. So please help me in welcoming Dr. Eric Laywell.
Okay, thank you. I'm honored by this opportunity to say a few words. I'd like to thank Tyra and Carrion for the work that they've done. I know it's not easy getting everybody together and finding a schedule that works, but thank you for that. You know, you might think, I've done this many times, and you might think that it becomes sort of routine and less meaningful every year, but actually the opposite is true, and I'm going to tell you why. My mentors in anatomy taught me that there's a sacred trust between the body donor and anatomists and the students that study on that donor, and I really believe that's true. And 17 weeks ago, when I picked these cadavers up in Gainesville with some of the TAs, and I signed my name on the sheet of paper, allowing me to take them, giving me custody of them, I realized I have quite an obligation to keep them secured, to see that they're treated with respect, and that job for me will not be over until I return these ashes to the anatomical board in Gainesville in the next couple of weeks. So in that time, it's not just a time for me to store the body. Part of the sacred trust is to ensure that their bodies are used the way that they wanted them to be used. They wanted you to study from them and to get as much out of their bodies as you could, while always treating them respectfully and with dignity, the way that we should treat everybody. And so I want to thank you for doing that, because I for myself, and I'm just going to go ahead and speak for the faculty, because they've told me this. From the moment we had our first patient experience 16 weeks ago until the lab cleanup, which many of you helped with, you treated them with nothing but the utmost respect and dignity. And I know that you learned a lot from them. It changed you in a lot of ways. I can see it. That's, in fact, when people ask me what I like about teaching anatomy, the first thing I say is that I really enjoy seeing the change that takes place in the students, because for many of you, it's your first sort of intimate exposure with death, with really inspecting another person's body very intimately, learning how to cut on skin. It just changes you. And that's one of the most fulfilling things about teaching this course, is seeing that process over the summer and seeing all of you grow and take your first steps towards becoming physicians. So on behalf of the faculty and myself, I want to thank you for what you've done this summer, the way that you treated these cadavers. And I always felt comfortable, even when I wasn't in the lab, and I knew that you were down there studying and dissecting. I knew I didn't have to worry. The cadavers were in good hands. So thank you for that. And I want to keep this short. This has always been a student-led sort of memorial, and I don't want to impose on that, but thank you for allowing me to teach you, and thank you for allowing me to share these words with you.
Thank you, Dr. Laywell. Before us in these boxes, we have the remains of each donor. And as a tradition, we will have students from each learning community come before us to say a few words to honor our donors. And then afterwards, place a rose in their name. So please refrain from applause until after the end.
I know I speak for all of us when I say that you are our most valuable teachers. Thank you for allowing us to consistently challenge our words and our actions while teaching us respect and humility. The depth of knowledge and emotion we acquired in the past couple months will transform into hope for thousands of future patients. Our journey together will always hold a special place in our hearts. Bertie, I place this rose in the remembrance of you.
As we crowd around your body, TAs in position, ready for prosection, students asking questions, I can't help but look at you and wonder, who were you? A mother, a father, a grandparent, a friend, a mentor, an artist. Regardless, this past summer, you were our teacher, perhaps the most important one we'll have in our time here. May we never forget the lessons we learned. Thank you. Linda, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
Rumi, the Sufi poet, said, "Before death takes away what you are given, give away what there is to give." But you are not like most people. You continue to give even beyond your death. The footprints you are leaving behind will have a lasting impact, not only on us, but on every patient we come across. Thank you for showing us the true meaning of selfless sacrifice. We are forever grateful. Mary, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
We are so insanely lucky. Each of our patients, and as we know, I call them patients because we first met them at our first patient experience. Each of our patients has had her own favorite holidays and hobbies, animals and shows, memories and regrets, and on and on. But within all these differences, the most striking thing to me, without a doubt, was how incredibly similar each body was. Of course, I had heard in grade school that we're all 99% genetically identical, but the knowledge didn't curtail my amazement when I could find the same branch of the same artery from body to body. Along with my amazement, I felt like more than ever, I was part of something wonderful and huge. I felt more connected than ever to all of you and to all humans. Leonard, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
It's because of our donors that I found the beauty in silence, the beauty in listening, and in learning in ways that don't require words. Because of our donors, I found the beauty in teamwork, hope, drive, desire, and persistence. Our donors have equipped me with the strength and wisdom to assist sick patients who may be nearing the end of life, and I am no longer scared. Paracelsus once said that the art of healing comes from nature and not from the physician. Therefore, the physician must start from nature with an open mind. Our donors have given me the opportunity to start from nature, and for that, I will forever be grateful. Thank you. Charles, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
A society grows great when men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. Thank you for your selfless contribution to our medical educations. We will make you proud. Frank, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
The decision made by these honorable men and women to donate their bodies to my education gave me a special privilege. To honor this decision, I dedicated hours each day of summer learning each body part, its name, its function, what nerve made it move, what artery gave it blood, ultimately what gave it life. To the friends and families of the bodies I learned from, the decision of your loved one has forever impacted my medical education and underpins my future success as a physician. It was very special to have this privilege, and for it I am beyond grateful. Charity, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
In the first patient experience, you enter expecting to meet a cadaver, but you exit having connected with the person. I found myself holding the hands of each body that I worked on. To me, they weren't deceased at all. To me, I was holding the hand of a living person who sacrificed their body for the benefit of others. Thank you to all of those whose death brought this learning experience to life. David, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
When you open an anatomy atlas, the nails are not painted pink. Was that your favorite color? Was that your husband's favorite color? I want you to know that I will forever see you when I see future patients. Your polished hands that with each wrinkle showed years of hard work. Your organs, which showed me the unity of humanity and how under our skin we are entirely the same. But most importantly, I will forever see and feel your selfless and compassionate heart. You may not have truly known the impact you'd be making to my medical education, so for your gift, I will be forever thankful. Suzanne, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
I fast forward my life a few years. I'm in the midst of my surgical rotation, and it's time for me to place my very first central line. As I aim for my patient's internal jugular vein, I will remember the feel of your veins in my fingers, the difference in texture from your arteries, and the exact location just lateral to your carotid. Because you so graciously donated your body to my medical education, I will be able to save my first patient's life. William, I place this rose in memory of you.
I want to share a verse with you that comes out of Psalm 139. It says, "For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth." This verse is about a creation, man, praising his creator, God. Having the privilege of learning from these individuals brought me to a similar place as the man in this passage is described. A place of awe, a place of praise, a place of humility. So to you all, I want to say thank you for allowing these individuals to hand over their physical bodies so that I might further my medical education and ultimately come closer to the one who made them. Velma, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
Each time I touch my patients' bodies, I will think of you, my first patient. Thank you for the life you gave to me so that I may give life to others. Calvin, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
Even after passing, the generosity of these individuals is astounding. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to learn about the beauty of the human body thanks to their donation. This knowledge will not go to waste, and their selflessness will forever be ingrained in my mind and heart. Vern, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
From the moment I walked into anatomy lab as a scared little boy to the last day when we cleaned the anatomy lab, I don't think the part of little boy changed, but I do think that the fear dissipated. My experience with you has been changed, and I know that from wherever you stand and from wherever you look at me, you will be proud of the physician I become. Fernand, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
In an effort to ensure that I become the best physician, you bestowed upon me a great trust to learn from you to further my education. When I touched your hands, I thought about all the loved ones' hands that you touched throughout the years. When I looked at your eyes, I thought about all the moments that you saw that I'll only read about. And when I held your heart, I thought about all the wonderful joys in life you must have experienced. You were my first patient, and you gave me your body as your final gift. And I thank you for that. Joanne, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
I am grateful for the knowledge and experience I've gained this past summer, all because of the generosity of the first patients. Without them, I wouldn't have this depth of understanding of anatomy, which is vital to the practice and art of medicine. Years from now, as I attend the needs of the future patients, I'll carry the memory of the first patients with me and use this gift they've given to perpetuate their dedication to science and medicine. Joanne, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
Friends of knowledge, here lie at rest, friends of man, friends of truth, friends of age, and the guides of youth. Few hearts like theirs, with virtue warmed, few heads with knowledge so informed. If there's another world, they live in bliss. If there is none, they made the best of this. Patience, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
Dear Cadaver, you were my first patient, my first real teacher, and my first friend. You helped me survive through a whole semester of medical school, and for that, I am grateful. Even though you made my eyes water and you made my nose run, you were the reason that I know my pedicles from my lamina, my sigmoid sinus from my sigmoid colon, my tendons from my ligaments, and my metacarpals from my metatarsals. In fact, you are the main reason that I even know anatomy at all, because trust me, it is not the digestive tract like they teach you in 3rd grade. I know you are someone's grandmother, someone's mother, and someone's daughter. But to me, you are more than words could ever describe. So Shanna, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
By allowing us to study their bodies, our first patients have given us a huge gift, maybe the only gift you can only give once. And because of that, their gift has a weight associated with it, a debt that we can never pay back to them. And so we have to carry that forward by doing better, trying harder, and giving more to all the patients we have in the future. So Louise, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
The decision to donate your body to medicine cannot be simple, not for the individual making this decision, nor for his or her family. The gravity behind this is difficult for me to even fathom, but due to this generous donation and sacrifice, I've been able to reflect on how my life changed. Due to this sacrifice, our medical career truly began, which for most of us, definitely me, has been a lifelong dream. We came together as a class for the first time, and the older students had an opportunity to develop into our mentors. All of this centered around our first patient, and only possible because of them. Above everything, our first patients taught us a lesson without speaking any words that will be unparalleled in our career. They taught us the true definition of humanitarianism by their final act of donating their body so that future lives could ultimately be saved. As I progress through my medical career, I will always hang my knowledge on the foundation of anatomy, and so I'm truly thankful for this experience. Charles, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
One of the greatest gifts I think a person can obtain is the gift of knowledge. One of the greatest selfless acts a person can do is donate their body so that others can gain more knowledge. Without knowing anything about who we are, these individuals donated their bodies so that we can become phenomenal, well-rounded, patient-centered physicians. I'll forever be striving to be that physician that would have made these individuals proud. I am forever in their debt and will never take for granted the opportunities they have given me in my education. Carl, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
We didn't know our donors when they were living, but I feel that throughout our anatomy course, we gained a strong idea of who they were before they passed.
not just from their scars or other significant physical features, but mostly from the fact that they chose to help the world after their passing by donating their bodies to the education of future physicians. What a blessing it was to learn from them. And I know the rest of the class of 2020, is forever grateful to them for starting our medical journey and for always being our first patients. Bernie, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
So before medical school, I was really terrified of anatomy. The idea of human dissection was really daunting to me. And I think it was the idea that I would be facing death intimately. However, I thought that would kind of come out through disgust or the grossness of the dissection. However, what I found during my first patient experience was that I felt overwhelming sadness. Sadness at the loss of human life. And through this sadness, I was humbled at the magnitude of the gift we had received. We had been given a chance to explore the mystery of the human body. So a mystery that can only be seen through the donation of life and the donation of a body. I'm humbled to have received this gift. The kindness of a stranger allowed us to receive the greatest teachers we've ever had. Stephen, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and then it is the end. But for you, this is not how the story ends. For your ashes will lead to healing, and your dust will lead to new life. For out of your death is birthed knowledge to cure the most potent of diseases. Out of your death is birthed a profound inspiration to restore life to a child in some distant suffering nation whom you will never see. But amazing grace, how sweet the sound that shall say, live on, my child, live on. Truly, your death was not the end, but yet it was the beginning of an eternity of hope to the mother who just wants to see her son walk again. It is courage to the father who refuses to lose the battle to cancer because he is determined to see his daughter be the first of many to accept her diploma. Surely your dying was not in vain. For seen amongst us are many witnesses of the great resurrection that took place when you gave your all to the miracle of modern medicine. So be it made known that forever in our hearts and minds you shall live and not die. David, I place this rose in remembrance of you.
Thank you guys for those beautiful and heartfelt reflections. Let's give them a hand. I'd now like to introduce Michelle McCullers, who will be reciting a poem she wrote in honor of her first patient.
My cadaver was a dead man. It was something he wanted us to know. He showed us, inked into his skin, with a skull and crossbones. His arm read out, dead man. It was something we first didn't see, but noticed later on. We laughed, for the dead had told us a joke. A personality shined on. My cadaver was a working man. He showed us with his feet, calluses made that walked for miles, sights that we would never see. He was a human through and through, with vices like us all. My cadaver was an unlucky man. His vice had killed him too young. This he showed us with his lungs. My cadaver wanted to tell us who he was. He simply wanted to be a dead man, and for this, it will be done.
Thank you, Michelle, for sharing such an insightful poem. Next, I'd like to welcome Kevin Gill, who will be playing a piano piece entitled A River Flows Within You.
Thank you, Kevin, for that beautiful selection. Now we'll just take a moment of silence to reflect on the lives of those who sacrificed theirs. Thank you.
For our final musical selection, please help me in welcoming Jordan Carbono, who will be performing the musical piece entitled For Good.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, so I just wanted to say I wasn't gifted with one of the greatest voices, but one of the things about this song that I chose is that the words speak for itself. And I'm just going to give you a little quick background. It's known as the climax for Wicked, the musical. It's when the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba, is saying her final goodbye to Glinda. And it kind of relates to what we're doing right now. These people weren't able to have a memorial service because their bodies were donated so that we could learn. But this is our way of saying goodbye to them in two separate worlds, just as the Wicked Witch of the West was in a separate world to Glinda. It's our way of saying our final goodbye and thanking it in a way that, yes, it is sad, but at the same time, we look back on it and reflect on it with joy, with happiness. So I hope you really enjoy these lyrics and reflect on the power that they have within them. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better, but because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by the wind of the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better, but because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better, and because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Thank you, Jordan.
We just want to give a special thank you to everyone who participated and made this possible. To the donors and their families, we want to thank them for being our first patients. To the professors of Medicine 1, thank you for introducing us to the wonderful field of medicine, and thank you for your continued support. And to the class of 2020 in Bridge, thank you for participating and volunteering and not getting mad at all of our emails.